Good evening, parents, family, faculty, friends, and graduates, the class of 2020. Welcome to the Senior Celebration Program for Laguna Hills High School. We wanted to make sure we recognize our seniors for their tremendous accomplishments, and this is the official date on our diplomas. As head of school, we need to validate our diplomas with an official acceptance of the class of 2020. Please bear in mind that we are committed to a commencement ceremony and grad night on July 31st if protocols permit. Seniors, parents, faculty, and staff. These have been unusual times, and we want to start by acknowledging how hard everyone has worked over the last several months and how hawk proud we are of our entire community. We just wish we were here in person. Now, I'd like to introduce Laguna Hills High School's senior class president, Madison Blair, as she leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the singing of our national anthem by Natalie Studebaker.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Madison and Natalie. As we begin our senior celebration program, we would like to recognize our retiring Laguna Hills High School teachers and staff, Barbie Martin, Yi-Ching Fenton, and Deborah Marquez Ojeda. You have helped to define the culture of excellence in our community. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to Laguna Hills High School. At commencement, we have 40 flags for each of our graduating classes, and here is your flag representing the 2020 graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior class of 2020 is a remarkable group of students who have accomplished significant achievements over the last 4 years. In those years, 5 individuals and teams were crowned league champion. We had 4 Seaview League MVPs and 14 teams qualified for the CIF playoffs. We had a CIF team title and 36 individual medalists and athletes named All CIF, along with 23 Masters qualifiers and 14 state qualifiers. The class of 2020 have distinguished themselves in the area of visual and performing arts this year, earning accolades on multiple levels in visual arts, and our theater program moved us with the fall play Night Sky, followed by the epic musical Les Mis, which garnered a truckload of Cappies, Macy, and J. Ray awards, and the student-directed play Infinite Black Suitcase. The class of 2020 has logged thousands of hours of community service and has earned close to $3 million in scholarships. Next year, our Hawks will attend 8 different UCs, 5 Cal States, and numerous California private universities, as well as colleges across the country and abroad. 16 of our Hawks will serve our country in 4 different branches of the military, including an appointment at the United States Air Force Academy. Some of our graduates will choose to continue their education at community college. Over 90 of our Hawks have been awarded the Saddleback Promise program, earning free tuition at Saddleback for 2 years. We have aspiring chefs attending the Culinary Institute of America in both New York and California, and others furthering their education through career and tech schools across the country. We are incredibly proud of our Hawks and their many accomplishments. This is quite a distinguished class indeed. Go forth and make us proud. And as always, go Hawks.
Along with our traditional caps and gowns, many of our students are receiving additional symbols of achievement. These students are listed by category in the program, but we would also like to recognize these groups of students at this time. This year we had 59 students graduating as California Scholarship Federation Life members who received a gold cord and gold stole. 22 of our students are graduating members of the National Honor Society and received a gold cord along with a blue or white stole. We had 22 gold medallion scholars representing the top 5% of the graduating class. These students received our highest honor, the gold medallion. 27 of our students are candidates for the full diploma of the International Baccalaureate and received a gold cap and gown. 15 students are members of the International Thespian Society and received a blue and gold cord. 43 students are members of the two-way language immersion program and have completed the 13-year program with dual diplomas, one from Laguna Hills High School and an International Spanish Academy diploma from the Spanish Embassy. These students also received a red cord. 10 students are graduating members of the Music Honor Society and received a pink cord. 13 students are graduating members of the National Art Society and received a cord of primary and secondary colors. 38 students received a bronze Career Technical Education medallion for completing a 3-year CTE course of study. 9 of our students received the ROP Distinguished Student Award and a gold medallion from Coastline ROP. 4 students are members of the French Honor Society and received a red, white, and blue cord. 11 students are members of the Chinese Honor Society and received a red and white cord. 33 of our students are members of the Spanish Honor Society and received a gold and red cord. 30 students are 3-year members of our Model United Nations program and received a blue and white cord. And 17 of our students are graduating officers of the Laguna Hills High School Associated Student Body and received a white cord. We want to thank you for your service here at Laguna Hills High School. Congratulations goes out to all of our students who have earned additional distinction among the class of 2020. We would also like to thank our faculty, club advisors, and coordinators for all their commitment to our many distinguished programs.
And now I'd like to introduce our valedictorian, Joshua Richter, to share his reflections for 2020.
Graduates, parents, honorary guests, and faculty, thank you for coming out to our virtual senior celebration. My name is Josh Richter, and I am honored to be speaking to you today as your valedictorian for the class of 2020. Graduation is bittersweet. We are closing a fundamental chapter of our lives that we will never be able to reopen. Saying hi to Mr. V as we walk between our classes, checking out what new kicks Mr. Borg has on, and witnessing Mr. Tomales draw a perfect circle on his whiteboard will be a thing of the past. Our time to go to assemblies, compete in Hawk athletics, and drive recklessly in the parking lot will now be over. While we will certainly miss these memories and many more just like them, I know that we are excited to continue to make new ones in our next chapter, adulthood. I've heard scary stories of adulthood, stories of responsibility, doing taxes, and having to wash your clothes instead of throwing them in a pile in the corner of your room. Luckily for us, Laguna Hills High School has prepared us with all the necessary tools required for adulthood, like analyzing 16th century poetry, being able to explain the structure of an amino acid, knowing all about our sines, cosines, and tangents, just stuff adults use every day. Okay, so maybe everything we learn in class won't be essential to us later on, but we will not be leaving school empty-handed. We have learned several valuable lessons along the way that will serve us well in life. I will remind you of my 3 favorite ones today. The first lesson is to work as a team. As we worked on group lab reports, played on LHHS sports teams, and formed study groups with our friends, we have learned that there is value to working with others. Many of us will be traveling to new places next year and will not be able to rely as much on our old friends, so we must get ourselves out there to make new relationships and build new teams. Second, LHHS has taught us that we should forge our own path. While we all had specific requirements that needed to be met to graduate, it was up to us to decide which clubs we wanted to join, what classes we wanted to enroll in, and what activity we wanted to do to fulfill our PE requirement. As we begin our next chapter, follow your passions. If you are attending college next year, find a major that sparks your curiosity and that you genuinely like to learn about. If you are looking for a job out of high school, try to find work that is meaningful to you and that you will look forward to doing. Finally, never give up. Failure is a harsh truth that all of us will deal with multiple times in our lives. However, it is after a failure that we often achieve the most growth. At LHHS, when we are struggling with a subject, we are taught to go to tutorial and get help. Graduates, I encourage you to have resiliency when facing your future failures and to know when to reach out for help. While I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunities for us to implement these life lessons, for today, let's just give ourselves a pat on the back for the work we have accomplished, even if it was done through procrastination, in the final minutes of snack, and at the beginning of the period as the teacher is collecting homework. We are all here today, so we must have done something right. Class of 2020, thank you for not fast-forwarding my speech, and congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. What an amazing speech. Please welcome our senior speaker, Akimi Nagano, to share her senior reflection.
Class of 2020, well, here we are. We've made it to this point. All the stress, sleepless nights, tears, happiness, dances, sports, and certainly these past few trying months have culminated in a memory we will refer to as high school. We all came in with different expectations, with plans or without, and regardless, we each faced a couple curveballs along the way, some extra fun surprises, and some highs and lows. High school is not what you see in movies. It's not perfect, but it's uniquely different for every individual. No matter the journey, how rocky or smooth the path, we all have made it to this point, even though it may not be playing out how we imagined. Each of us, these past 4 years, has begun to weave our own tapestry of life, all with their own colors, knots, designs, and paths, leading us to what is next. For some of us, that means the college route. For others, it means straight to the world of jobs. And yet for others, that brave handful, it means joining the armed forces to serve this country. I don't know where you plan to be tomorrow, other than 6 feet apart, but be proud of what you have accomplished and excited about what is to come, because tomorrow is never promised. The most beautiful part of this is that someday we can come together and share our tapestries, and they will all be beautiful and different. Be open, be bold, and be ready. We have no idea the experiences that lie ahead, and who we are going to meet or come across, or the paths that we will end up on. We realize that it has never mattered whether we were conforming or not. It is our journey, to be lived and embraced in our way, as true hawks that have left the nest. Whoever you are right now, you've made it just by being the way you are. Thank you, Class of 2020, for being patient and enduring this unknown time. Before you leave the nest, it's important to remember where you came from. Let us be grateful, though, to those that have helped us get to this point. Our parents, friends, teachers, administrators, and guidance counselors. We are also thankful for all the clubs, groups, sports, and jobs we've had the opportunity to be a part of, all important in shaping our paths. We can now be joyful over the present and hopeful for the future. You've done it, Laguna Hills Class of 2020. You've accomplished something grand. As we are about to leave the nest, I leave this with you to remember. Maria von Trapp said, "It will be very interesting one day to follow the pattern of our life, as it is spread out like a beautiful tapestry. As long as we live here, we see only the reverse side of the weaving, and very often the pattern, with its threads running wildly, doesn't seem to make sense. Someday, however, we shall understand. And looking back over the years, we can discover how a thread goes through the pattern of our life. Class of 2020, you will never be forgotten."
Thank you, Akimi. That was awesome. Now I'd like to introduce Jacob Tapia and Seth Whitaker, who will perform If I Had More Time.
Here is where I left you. It was to test you. And did you last that long? So long. Now I understand you, but can't comprehend you. And do I need to work so hard? And I'd be here with you if I had more time. Slow, and I will kiss you, and most likely miss you. It's been a long, long time now. Won't you come over, and like wayward rovers, we'll stumble round downtown. And I'd be here with you if I had more time. Soaring from our nest of memories, we fly hand in hand. If I had more time, here is where I left you. It was to test you. And did you last that long? So long. Now I understand you, but can't comprehend you. And do I need to work so hard? And I'd be here with you if we had more time. If we had more time. If we had more time. If we had more time.
Thank you, Seth and Jacob, two of our many talented students here at Laguna Hills. Please welcome Ms. Judy Dale to introduce our faculty speaker to the podium to share her faculty reflection.
I am honored to introduce Mrs. Barbie Martin, our beloved International Baccalaureate teacher. After teaching here for 23 years, she has decided to retire. Mrs. Martin graduated from El Camino High School, received her baccalaureate degree in psychology from Cal State Long Beach, and her master's in curriculum and instruction from Concordia. She started her teaching career at Los Alisos Intermediate School. After teaching there 3 years, she decided to take a leave and stay home with her 3 children. In 1997, Mrs. Martin became a Hawk and started teaching English at Laguna Hills High School. During her tenure here, she headed the IB program and was English department chair. Plus, she created the popular religious panel. She looks forward to traveling and spending time with her 2 grandsons. Mrs. Martin will truly be missed.
Well, Hawks, it's here, the moment you anticipated and worked toward for years. You've reached a major crossroad in your life journey. It doesn't look the way you anticipated. No senior assembly, no prom, no last game, no last performance, no last time you walked the halls of Hawk High with your friends. You didn't get the opportunity for a proper goodbye. It's okay to feel sadness for what you missed because it is a big deal. But don't allow the circumstances to diminish what you've accomplished. Remember that all of life's experiences, both good and bad, have the potential to teach us lessons and provide us with new opportunities for growth. One of life's cruel ironies is that tough circumstances often teach us the biggest lessons. So, what will be your big takeaway from this history-making event? Maybe you have come to the realization that it's the little things that we often take for granted that are the things we miss the most profoundly when they are gone. Maybe you have learned the value of living in the moment, to not be overly anxious to move on to the next step in life, but to savor what you have in the now. Maybe you have learned that you don't have control over circumstances, but you do have control over how you respond. Maybe you have learned what it is that really matters to you. These are all invaluable life lessons, ones that you learned on the fast track, but they are lessons that you can keep with you your entire life. As you move on from high school, you will come to other crossroads. After all, where one path ends, another begins. What new knowledge about who you are and what you value will you take with you? What memories from Laguna Hills High School will you keep close? I hope you will never forget how fortunate you were to be a part of this amazing place, for this school is like none other. I know I am thankful for my 23 years as a Hawk and for having the opportunity to be part of your lives. I wish you all the best as you move on to your new life path. And remember, once a Hawk, always a Hawk.
Ladies and gentlemen, our beloved Barbie Martin, thank you for your service to our Hawk community. Once a Hawk, always a Hawk. Dr. Turner, I'm pleased to report that the class of 2020 has met the graduation requirements established by the state of California and the Saddleback Valley Unified School District. The class of 2020 are therefore eligible to graduate from Laguna Hills High School.
On behalf of Saddleback Valley Unified School District and the SVUSD Board of Education, I accept the qualifications of the Laguna Hills High School Class of 2020 and declare them graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Turner. We truly wish that we were all together in person here. But for now, please join us in watching a photo montage of the Laguna Hills High School graduating class of 2020.
Graduates, please stand. I mean it, stand up wherever you are. I wish we were here together, and I can't express that deeply enough. So caps on, make sure your tassels are on the right. Okay, here we go. At this time, class of 2020, please move your tassels from the right side of your graduation cap to the left side. This move signifies your graduation from Laguna Hills High School. Congratulations, class of 2020. As we conclude, I would like to give a special thank you to our PTSA Senior Recognition Committee for your support and everything you've done to make things happen along the way. And senior class, we are fully committed to an in-person commencement ceremony on July 31 and a grad night celebration that evening if social distancing protocols are lifted. We are so proud of you, class of 2020. Take care all, and as always, go Hawks.